Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Real Estate Investing. In today's episode, you'll learn about why most home flippers fail. They actually wanted to go out and flip a property, turn a profit, except that profit turned to flip on them and they lost their ass. So let's figure out why that happened. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I am always here to help. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line and say hi, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. So house flipping, there's a lot of pros and cons to it. There's a lot of great opportunities. To learn and make sure that you're getting the most out of this video, please watch the whole video from start to finish, and then you can form a strong game plan in your house flipping career to make sure that you're the next real estate mogul. So let's go ahead and get into it. The usual thing that happens here is a lot of people would like to get started into real estate flipping and they wonder where to begin. So they Google house flipping and they start finding there's an overwhelming abundance of information out there. Let my channel, let my real estate investing series guide you through the mess and get clear on how you're going to do this, from business planning to learning everything about that you can about house flipping to ensure that you're a success. Watch these videos in sequence on the Real Estate Investing Series every Saturday at 10 a.m. and you'll be learning more about how to become a successful real estate investor, whether flipping or renting property. So one of the biggest issues when we all have so much information available is we will commit analysis paralysis, meaning that we're essentially paralyzed as we're doing our research because we're analyzing it so much we never take that all too important step forward after the first time. So a lot of reasons that people fail is because they also don't understand that flipping property is a numbers game, meaning that it's not about you got to go buy all kinds of properties and flip them all out to turn your profit. That might be partially true, but it's not true whenever it comes to the comment that I'm making about it being a numbers game. It means that you may have to look at 100 different properties and assess and run your numbers on 100 different properties to get the one that's going to make the most sense, the one that's going to help you actually move forward. So you're going to have to be doing your due diligence. You're going to need a top agent in your area to work with to help you stay at top of all the bank-owned properties, what's coming on the market, what's coming off the market. Believe it or not, even some traditional sales could be good advantages for you to flip a property. Let's say that house is in a distressed condition. The seller knows it. They're willing to take far less than market value, and if your numbers make sense on it, it might be the right property for you to get started on your very first one. Now, I would strongly caution you about spending too much money on your first flip. Find a property under $100,000 or what's relative to your marketplace. Find a property that's on the lower expensive side on that so that you can be able to test run your first flip, get your bearings about you, get your contractors in line, get your process down so that you're not over invested by going in too high of a flip to begin with, and then you might lose and then get financially hurt in the process. We don't want to see that happen. We want to see you succeed. Flippers often fail because they're not clear on what they're doing with their flipping business. They often fail because they don't understand it's a numbers game and it takes time, especially that first deal. Once you've done your homework and you know a little bit more about how short sales work, how bank owns work, withdrawn properties, that's another source of great opportunity. Another fourth source that a lot of flippers don't think about are probate properties. But probates go on every time, and unfortunately that simply just means that somebody has died, left the property to their heirs, and normally what do heirs want? They want their cash. They want to sell it. They want to sell it for as much money as possible. But if the home is distressed, if the home isn't up to snuff, at the end of the day, those heirs, what do they really care about? They care about liquidating the asset and getting their money in the bank. Now that's an opportunity for you to go in and go, you know what? The house isn't in the best of condition. You have it up for $100,000. I'll offer you $70,000 cash. Boom, done, right? With $70,000, you got a 30% margin there that you can play with so that you can make sure that you're holding true to that 70% rule that a home should be 70% after it's been purchased and renovated before you get ready to sell it to maintain your profit margins, right? Now, a lot of you have probably heard of that one before, right? Tell us about your experiences using it in practice in the comment section below. I know it can be tricky, I know it can be difficult, but if you have the patience and the tenacity to be persistent, you can learn how to turn probate sales or withdrawn sales withdrawn listings into profitable cash resources, as well as learning how the banks work. Now, it's important to know what kind of market you're in. If you're in a seller's market, a buyer's market, or a more normal balanced market, if you will, banks may not take more than 10% off the list price of that property. So if you're thinking about flipping one of those properties, in the case of a bank owned, then you want to be finding one that only needs light cosmetics, like maybe some paint, maybe some new granite, or maybe some touching up, sprucing up, that you could quickly go in, renovate, bring up to what buyers are looking for, and still make a profit within that 10% margin. It's a lot tighter of a margin than trying to find those probate sales. Now, I mentioned something, and I'll make sure that I put the link up throughout this video, for the withdrawn listings. The reason this becomes impactful is there's different reasons why homes sell and don't sell whenever they are traditional listings. Now, obviously, one of them could just be the seller is unrealistic about the price. I mean, what seller? I've never had a seller, and I'm sure you never heard of a seller that wants to just fire sell their property. I mean, it's very, very uncommon, right? All sellers want the most money out of the property, the same way all buyers and investors like yourself want the best deal on that same property. So you got to be realistic about it. But with a withdrawn listing, what makes them interesting is sometimes they simply don't sell because they're just really, really lousy looking properties. They're ugly properties, ugly homes, for lack of a better word, and the market didn't like it. It was just ugly. It was distressed. It wasn't up to what the buyers of the market are looking for. In those cases, if you have a top agent working with you, they can actually take a look at all the withdrawn listings in the last 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, what have you. Reach out to the owners of those homes with the terms that you're willing to write an offer on those properties, and let them know, hey, we have an investor we're working with. They're looking to purchase a property like yours. They're willing to offer X number of dollars of cash, and see what they say. You play this game often enough, going back to it being a numbers game, you're going to succeed at some point. You're going to have your breakthrough moment. You see all these different flyers, different marketing methods out there to get your name exposed. You know, you put in money into mail campaigns, digital campaigns, to say, hey, you know, we buy ugly homes. You know, that's something here in Las Vegas we see all the time. People have the "we buy ugly homes" signs everywhere. So that being said, it might take you months to get your first result. Now, if you're persistent and you stay tenacious about it, then you can succeed. Now, that's another reason why a lot of flippers fail. They're simply not persistent. They're simply not disciplined in their practice, and they're simply not consistent in the methods that they're pursuing business. Flipping homes is the same as any other small business, any other business endeavor, period. It requires consistency and persistence, discipline to a schedule, discipline to a practice, an open mind to continue learning and growing. So, you know, don't ever be the person that said, well, other people just got lucky. The market was in their favor, this and this and that, right? Don't be that person. Make your own luck. Use the law of attraction to your benefit, and be aware that what kind of energy you put out there, you're going to attract to yourself. If you're focused all the time that I'm going to get a great flipping opportunity, I'm going to be a great flipper, I'm going to be a great flipper, and you're constantly telling yourself, what are you doing to your mindset? Your mindset's actually gearing you, and it's talking and putting that energy out into the world and the universe that's going to give you what you're asking for, because you're persistently pursuing it and believing it with all your heart and mind and soul. And you're doing what you got to do with your consistent, disciplined, and persistent practice of going after and finding these type of properties. Be aware that what you put out there, you're going to attract back. You want that property, you want to be successful, put successful energy out there. Don't rely on luck. Make your own luck. I mean, why not, right? So the numbers game will work if you're persistent. So boiling this down, why flippers fail? They don't have a plan. They don't have a business plan. They don't have a plan of attack as far as their financing is concerned. They are being unrealistic as far as how fast they're going to be able to get into their first flip, as opposed to doing their homework and making sure that they are reasonable with the market, knowing where to look for homes. Again, probate sales, I see them all the time. These things, trustee sales, probate sales, I'm telling you, that is a really great avenue for you that go down all the time. And normally these properties are being sold far less than what the market could have got for them had they listed the homes as a traditional listing with a real estate agent, or worked with a savvy listing agent like myself to tell them what they needed to do to bring that home up to snuff to help it get a higher price. Well, there's your avenue now as a flipper to do just that. You buy it low, you renovate, you make it nice, you do everything right, you make the profit. A buyer's happy, you're happy, everyone wins, right? If you have some questions about this video, I'm going to put my contact information up. If you want to share your tips with me, or if you simply want to say hi, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you and love to hear what you're going through right now too. So if you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, subscribe to this channel. Number 2, like this video. Number 3, share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching and enjoy a wonderful day.